Welcome to History in Focus Weekly Recap, September 24th to 30th. Please enjoy.
September 24th, History in Focus. Let's get started. September 24th, 1789. President George Washington signed the Judiciary Act. This act created the U.S. federal judiciary system, including the Supreme Court. It's a big deal because it helps shape how laws work in the United States. Did you know Black Friday isn't just about shopping? On September 24, 1869, the U.S. gold market crashed because two businessmen tried to hoard all the gold. Prices went up and then crashed down. On September 24, 1929, then Lieutenant James H. Doolittle, a member of the U.S. Army Air Corps, accomplished a groundbreaking feat, utilizing only the onboard instruments for navigation. He executed a flawless takeoff, flight, and landing without any windows. Last but not least, on September 24, 2014, India's Mars orbiter mission successfully entered Mars orbit. India became the first Asian country to reach Mars. And that's super cool.
September 25th, History in Focus. Let's find out more. On September 25th, 1981, Sandra Day O'Connor made history by becoming the first woman on the U.S. Supreme Court. Talk about girl power. Moving on to 1957. The Little Rock Nine bravely walked into Central High School in Arkansas. They were the first black students there and helped end school segregation, a big step for equality. Next up, in 1974, a game-changing surgery took place. Dr. Frank Jobe performed the first Tommy John surgery on baseball player Tommy John. This surgery has saved many sports careers. Last but not least, in 2008, China launched Chang'e 7. This mission was super neat because it included China's first ever spacewalk. Way to go, China. September 26th, History in Focus. Let's get to it. In 1983, Stanislav Petrov saved the world from a nuclear disaster when he decided a missile alert was just a false alarm. Moving back to 1960, we have the first ever televised presidential debate. It was between JFK and Nixon, changing politics forever. In 1984, the UK and China shook hands on the future of Hong Kong, promising it 50 more years of its own lifestyle. And who could forget 2008? Eve Rossi zoomed across the English Channel with a jet engine-powered wing in less than 10 minutes. Wow. September 27th, History in Focus. In 1903, the wreck of the old 97 happened. An American rail disaster where 11 people lost their lives. Although tragic, it inspired a popular ballad. Backtrack to 1590. Pope Urban VII became the pope with the shortest reign ever. Just 13 days. Yikes. On this day in 1822, Jean-François Champollion cracked the code of the Rosetta Stone, revealing the secrets of ancient Egyptian writing. And let's end on a high note. In 1905, Albert Einstein published his groundbreaking paper that gave us the equation E=mc². Brilliant. September 28th, History in Focus. Our first stop takes us way back to 551 BC. On this day, Confucius was born. He was a wise man from China, whose teachings still influence people today. Next, in 1538, the Ottoman Navy won a big battle at Preveza against the Holy League. Zooming to 1928, Alexander Fleming discovered penicillin. But let's not forget Florey, Chain, and Heatley, who made it a life-saving medicine. And for our final point, in 2008, SpaceX's Falcon 1 rocket zoomed into orbit. It was the first privately built rocket to do so. September 29th, History in Focus. First up, way back in 61 BC, Pompey the Great threw himself a birthday bash like no other, celebrating his victories with a grand parade. Fast forward to 1789, the United States decided it was time for a regular army, setting the stage for a stronger nation. In 1923, American women sprinted into history with their first ever track and field championships. And let's not forget London, which in 1829 introduced the Metropolitan Police, changing the game for city safety. September 30th, History in Focus. First up, The Thunderbirds TV series premiered in the UK on this day in 1965, using cool puppets and futuristic stories to capture our imaginations. Next, let's travel to Botswana, which gained its independence from British rule on this very day in 1966. Celebrations include parades and fireworks. Moving on, do you remember the Flintstones? This iconic animated sitcom made its debut on September 30th, 1960, and it's been a yabba dabba do time ever since. Last but not least, the Hoover Dam, originally known as the Boulder Dam, was officially dedicated on this day in 1935 by President Franklin D. Roosevelt. Catch daily history moments. Follow and subscribe for more of tomorrow's history.